Yeah, I had to redo it. But I might as well just say it. Yeah, the fans did kill Chester Bennington with this evidence. The whole reaction before Chester Bennington, you know what happened. People hated every single damn time that this band keep changing their sound, and all they gave a shit. All these people, I'm talking about those people that idolized, that loves that first album of theirs, Hybrid Theory or Meteor, but mainly is Hybrid Theory. And they wanted just only that. And when Chester responded to those people and pretty much told them to go fuck off, pretty much, yeah, they called him a sellout. They called him a sellout. And everyone was throwing shit on him because not only they hated his latest album, but they just didn't like the fact that he called their asses out. And ever since then, I always wonder if Chester was still around and One More Light did not bomb the way it did, because it was bombing, because they had to fucking bring in a bundle of Hybrid Theory and One More Light. They knew that this album was not selling. It was not gonna work. And what happened? What happened? He killed himself. After every bit what happened, the man was suffering depression. The man was suffering grief off of his dead best friend. And after that, the fans backstabbed him. The fans pretty much called him a sellout and just only gave a shit. Only one album and one sound, because that's all they care about. And people like me were trying to defend them and all that stuff, and pretty much at a point where they're just like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I am pretty much at a point where I have given up, and you guys are such a lost cause. It is what it is. Truth hurts. The truth hurts. Now, granted, you could rip apart my argument saying, no, that's not the case. That's how I saw it. That's how I saw it, and that's how I'm telling you. The Chester Bennington did not deserve this. I always wonder the whole factor of, if he was still alive, what would be the future of Linkin Park? Or what would his future be in general as a lead singer? Would he bring back Grey Days and go on a solo career? Would he leave Linkin Park and pretty much saying, yeah, I'm just going to move on, guys. I'm just going to go to my old band, Grey Days, which honestly, that would have been better for his career, because every time he does a solo project, he pretty much shows that he could be a truly solo artist and hold his own. You know, I don't like talking about this stuff. And the fans who hated One More Light are responsible of killing Chester. I blame them the most, because ever since Minutes to Midnight, A Thousand Suns, you can go look at the entire history of this band. This band tried so hard to please their own fucking fans. And I do not buy and do not believe that yours truly, Mike Shinoda, is going to continue the band. That fucking guy is a lying sack of shit. He knows if he continued that band, not only you will have people backstabbing him and pretty much telling him you're nothing more than a sellout, you're pretty much disrespecting Chester, blah, 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 blah. And oh, by the way, Chester Bennington made your band be successful. That's not an opinion, it's a fact. Because if Chester did not break up with Grey Days, or should I say, if Grey Days didn't break up, Linkin Park wouldn't be here. I hate the Linkin Park community. I never was accepted because they never liked what people like me view Linkin Park. A band that is going to live the test of time. A band that's going to pretty much be looked at of their entire career of one of the most successful bands who did all these different genres. And the only thing that pretty much killed the band was their own fan base. I'm not alone feeling this whole opinion. It was the worst cyberbullying I have ever seen to a celebrity. Now, ever since his death, it pretty much broke a echo of mental health. I actually wonder if Chester did not die, would mental health be a serious discussion? No, not at all. Not at all. Now, I'm sure people are going to tell me I'm an idiot for saying how I feel, but that's just how I see it. The fans killed Chester. You know, I'll just say this. There's not a day goes by that I wish Linkin Park or Chester Bennington was still here. That guy was literally great on whatever he was on. He was such an amazing singer. I was going to go see him in the One More Light tour and going to meet him in person as well. Talking about a guy who I respect, and I still hold this opinion, his best album of his entire career was the Dead by Sunrise Out of Ashes album. His best album. Now that title goes to his latest album, Grey Days Amends. But at the time before Grey Days re-released their first album, it used to be Dead by Sunrise Out of Ashes. I tried to be very calm, and I'm trying to be very calm without getting emotional, because I still cry for Chester. I still cry for Chester. I still have my grieving points. And I just, I really, when he died, it was a shock. It was a shock for me. When Christina Grimmie died, and I said on June 10th, 2016, I hope nothing happens to Linkin Park. And not only we have the fiasco on the fans, but he kills himself the next month after Christina. Really just says a lot. But I mean, I just I'm just going to be honest saying this. The fans should be blaming themselves. I can't even truly be a part of the Linkin Park community because I know what they did. And I'm not alone having this feeling. People hated the fucking shit out of Heavy, and they didn't even see what was the message of that fucking song until it was too late. Too late. Watch that video. What's it talking about? Mental health and depression. People hated the fucking shit out of it because it was not rock and metal, and it was not what your typical Linkin Park. I respected Chester and Mike and the rest of the band members doing different types of sounds, doing different types of music, because you truly saw a band trying to be something greater than the last album. I remember bands back in the 70s and the 80s, different sounds every single album, showing that they evolved and they became something more and had some matureness going forward. Not rinse and repeating the same bullshit over and over again and expecting a different result. There's not a day goes by I wish Linkin Park was still here. There's not a day goes by that I wish that Linkin Park was still here and they toured with the Hybrid Theory 20-year anniversary. 20 years of Hybrid Theory. Where's Chester? He's gone. By who? Who killed him? Depression. And a bit of the fan backlash. Chester loved his fans. And it really hit him hard. And it hurt very much me as well. I don't know what else I could say. You could tell me that's not true, but what I saw and what I know is a fact. And the fact that I'm not alone on saying this, that the fans killed Chester, that they hated the recent album, they hated the Heavy song, they hated everything about what Chester pretty much respond towards them and every bit of him, and calling him a sellout, calling him pretty much names that is not true, that is completely false and completely out of line and pretty much uncalled for and disrespectful. And yet again, no one cares. No one cares. No one fucking cares. It just, one thing that really says to me is, if you enjoy something, enjoy it. But if you don't like something, stop listening to it. Stop being a part of it. And that's exactly what I've done. I don't like the direction of Bullet My Valentine. Bullet My Valentine. One of my favorite bands. I don't like their record pretty much going on a death metal type album. I don't think that's the right direction. But granted, it is what it is. I'm not going to hate on them and telling them you're a sellout for something that I don't really like. I'm just going to wait for something that, if they do an album that I think truly is really good, then honestly, I am going to buy their record. But, yeah. And also another thing is, I always dreamed to see Disturbed and Linkin Park tour together. Man, that would have been a really good tour. I mean, I love both bands, and I always thought, I'm like, what would be really cool? Yours truly, Disturbed and Linkin Park together in a tour together. That would have been great. I know they met a couple of times, and would have been great to see them tour together. Would have been great. Something I would go. I would watch the whole show. I think it would have been fucking amazing. But I mean, I blame the fans more than anything. I blame the fans. It's just, I'm being real saying this. I mean, I loved his Linkin Park albums, but I mean, I think Minutes to Midnight was a good direction. I thought Meteora was fantastic. I thought A Thousand Suns was fucking amazing, if you ask me. Um, Living Things was just an average album. I feel like it was leftovers. But The Hunting Party is very overrated on a lot of things. I felt like it was a step back. And then One More Light, my first original reactions was, it's all right. It's okay. Not terrible. It's not a worst album. But I mean, it's not saying much, but when Chester died, it really changed my whole perspective. And it made me think, wow, I didn't see what he was trying to say until after the fact. And that's the thing, too, when you think of one of your favorite songs, you don't think the meaning factor. Now I look at every artist on the meaning, on what they're trying to say, and it's something very beautiful. And I guess when you have your favorite artist die and you look back in their career, you see what they were trying to say. I wish Chester Bennington was still here. I got nothing to blame but the fans and depression. But, I'm sure I'm going to be hated. I'm sure I'm going to be saying that's not true. But, I mean, it's the truth. It's really the truth. Honestly, you could not tell me otherwise. Like, the fans pretty much not really liking the new album. Linkin Park had to fucking make a bundle to Hybrid Theory and try to help the album sell a lot more. And you had to have all this shit to try to make One More Light to be successful. And it just didn't work. It got bad reviews. It had a bad fan feedback. And honestly, it was just overall a failed album until Chester's death had to make that album pretty much be successful. I honestly wonder if he was still around and people just accept One More Light, and we had Chester toured Linkin Park's 20th anniversary Hybrid Theory album. We have it where multiple albums going forward after One More Light. And of course, Grade Ace comes back and the rest is history from there. But we'll never know. We'll never know. It is what it is. Granted, I'm going to go to bed. I'm sure I'm going to have a massive dislike on this whole video. I don't really care. I'm just saying the truth.